And I welcome the opportunity provided by Sinn Féin to make a contribution on this. And I have to say, while I support the trust of the motion, I have difficulty with some of the setting out the calls that are set out there. But the general trust of it I support. I realise that some nursing homes are struggling without a doubt. There are additional costs, retention and recruitment problems, and a whole myriad of difficulties. And I've read the PwC report. However, I'd like to just place this in context. I have always deplored what I witnessed firsthand as I sat on a health forum for 10 years of my life, the privatisation and for profit of our home care service. And if this was a start, and this was just a temporary thing, which I'm not sure it is, but if it is, I welcome that as one immediate step with a view to reversing what the percentages are, because they're absolutely frightening. And Minister, I look back at your previous speech, and it was a very comprehensive speech back on the 16th of November, and you pointed out that at that stage it was 80-20. Now, if we're to take the PwC report, the actual imbalance is even more now, and it's 84% private and voluntary, but only a tiny percent voluntary, mostly for profit, and less than 20% now public. That's scandalous. And I know you agree with me, and I know you're on record for doing that. So I'm here tonight caught really in a sense because I abhor, and I say it publicly, I welcome the people in the gallery, I abhor a system of care that's based on profit. It has no role in the care of our elderly. That doesn't mean that there isn't a place for small nursing homes. Absolutely. There is always a place for private nursing homes. But the model has to come from the government, and they must provide the funds and the premises and reverse this. And this was done for an ideology that reduced everything, every type of care to products, valued the products, but the care was never valued. And that is not taking from the wonderful care provided in most of the nursing homes. And Minister, as well, you said in your last speech, which I appreciate, the average size of private nursing homes is increasing year on year. And you went on to say that the latest figures indicate that the top 15 providers, private providers, all of whom operate and own 5 or more nursing homes, operate 5 or more. These are no small providers. These are operating 5 or more, and they contribute 40% of nursing home beds, approximately. I'm quoting your own words here, and you've set it out, and it's actually worsened since then. So while, yes, I support a call to take some immediate steps in relation to the difficulties, I would like that within a framework of reversing this trend. I would also very much endorse the amendments put by the Social Democrats in relation to recommendation 2 of the report of the Oireachtas Committee for carrying out a review into the impact of nursing home privatisation, absolutely essential, and urgently bring forward a statutory right to home care. I welcome that the Minister has set out that the Commission of Care will be established by the autumn time. What I'm particularly worried about, however, is that on the one hand, Minister, and I want to work with you, that you want to reverse this trend. Then on the ground, let's look in Clifton, and there's a promise of a new nursing home. And it was to be for 50 beds, and mysteriously it became 40 beds at a time where all of these reports tell us the population is increasing, and certainly we're going back to 40 beds. We have a nursing home in Carrow. It just got the thumbs up from HEQA today, and absolute everything about the nursing home in Carrow has been endorsed, except one criteria was substantially compliant, and that was in relation to care plans, which I would have been stronger on that, but they said substantially compliant. Otherwise, they got the thumbs up. 7 or 8 beds empty in that, within the declared capacity. And the actual capacity is, I believe, much higher. No explanation, no nothing. HEQA giving it the thumbs up. I remember years ago I had a petition. I only did 2 petitions in my life, one for light rail and one to keep a nursing home open, St. Francis. And on the very week that they closed St. Francis nursing home in Galway, despite about 25,000 signatures, but they kept the day part open, they said that that very week was an announcement from whatever entity the health board was called at that point, that there was a shortage of public nursing home beds. That's the contradiction in terms that I'm watching all of the time. So in my last minute, we need a completely different model, not based on profit, not based on huge size, because if the bigger companies are going for 150 and 200 beds, and the health executive side has said, we only need 40 beds in the brand new home in Clifton, there's something awfully wrong here, awfully wrong with this model. Personally, I have no idea, if again, and I've said this to you, if you're recognising that the model was wrong, and I believe it was led by the PDs at the time, and the ideology was the private market is best, we know the value of products, but we don't know the value of care. If we're reversing that, I will stand with you 100%. Absolutely, if that's what we're doing. But I don't see a care plan here. I know from the recommendations that we discussed last week or the week before in relation to care generally, that the strongest recommendation in the 13, well, I say it was the strongest in the 13, was that we fund more public beds, more public home care, more public beds, and I'd like to see that happening with the plan. Thank you.
Thank you, Deputy.